What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? Actor Lakeith Stanfield hopped on social media to give his thoughts on racism. He said he was having a conversation with a white woman he was doing a film with, and she was expressing her guilt about slavery. And he said, really, you don't really have to feel guilty. Just, acknowledge that you benefit, from everything that happened. And, acknowledge that, you live in a society that value light skin over dark skin. And he said, hey, man, I don't really need your forgiveness, so to speak, was what he was saying. Like, we just need you to get the hell out of the way and let us do our thing. He's saying, you ain't got to suck on, that type of thing, Saying, you ain't got to suck me up or nothing, just get out of the way. Let us do our thing. Here's the thing. Lakeith is a very bright brother. And I think he knows that they're never going to get out of the way. Because if they're in the way in the first place, then you're dealing with a bully, right? You're dealing with a person who has no soul. You're dealing with someone who has no empathy, no heart. So they run interference on purpose because they are afraid of our potential. They understand what we can do. They understand that no other group in the history of civilization has been through what we've been through and are still thriving. Oh, we ain't just surviving. We're kicking a lot of ass. And quite frankly, that scares the ones who are, who have low self-esteem, right? Because if you're confident in yourself, it don't matter who you are. It don't matter what your complexion is. You know that you can compete. But see, there's certain ones out there, they can't compete without an unfair advantage. They can't compete without cheating. They can't compete without moving the goalpost. They can't compete without changing the rules every time black folks get close. Every time black folks figure it out, they can't compete unless they cheat. This is why they get in the way. So I say for any white person out there personally who might feel guilty about what happened in the past, don't just feel guilty. Do something about it. It's just like complaining. Because if you feel guilty long enough, that's a complaint. So, and it's okay to complain. But after you complain, do something about it. I think white people should feel guilty about slavery. If I had a great-great-great-great-great-grandfather who owned white people, who brutalized white people, who raped white people, who discriminated against white people just strictly based on the color of their skin, I would feel guilty too. See, that's the empathy in me. That's the humanity in me. I would feel some guilt about that. And yes, I would work to do my best to make it right. That's the humanity in me, you see? But some people ain't got that. They'll sit back and say they feel guilty, but then they'll see somebody being discriminated against or treated wrong based on the color of their skin, and they just duck their head and walk out the room. They go, I hope they don't get too close to me because I don't want to say anything. But then there are others who are very brave. I've seen them. I've seen them in work who will call a white person out in a heartbeat. White folks just be like, man, shut up. We're tired of your racist ass. You're the problem. You're the reason why America's so fucked up. Yeah, man, they'll call their asses out. I love it. I love them type of white folks. Not the ones that just sit back. They know it's a problem. They know it's an issue, but they go along to get along. They be around certain people, white folks that they know that are dirty, that say low down racist stuff, and they're quiet. They never challenge them. Yeah. And then they claim to have black friends. Yeah, right. Could you imagine your black friend being there and watching your reaction, watching you say nothing, do nothing? If you got a black friend, why don't you behave like you would in front of them? When a white person get out of pocket with that racism thing. They're never going to get out of the way. That's why we got to push them out of the way. We got to do whatever we got to do to keep moving forward. Salute. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?